Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the next edition of the Losers Lounge podcast. Now, before we get started, I just want to say, we're not live. We're back to like pre-recording this stuff, but the reason for that is because I'm going to be busy out on tour, and I want to get things done before I'm out of here, because otherwise I'm not going to be available to be talking to anything regarding, the upcoming events throughout the summer. That's what I got going on here. Anyway, this is part one of 3 podcast videos that will be released one day after the other. So as we're recording right now, it's Wednesday, May 24th, but it's releasing Friday, May 26th, and we're here to talk WWE Night of Champions. So tomorrow on Saturday, releasing Saturday, will be our predictions to NXT Battleground, and then Sunday, releasing our predictions to AEW Double or Nothing. Because of Memorial Day weekend, we have 3 pay-per-views. However, 2 of them are simultaneous. But the first one, the one we're talking in today's episode, is going to be on its own day, on Saturday, May 27th, live from Jeddah, Saudi Arabia at the Superdome. Here we go for that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my good friend, my bro, the heelist of Balors.
Well, thank you for that wonderful introduction, Christian. How's everybody doing? The heelist of Balors is back. A little bit, stuffy over here because the pollen and stuff, but I'm still here. I'm currently eating spaghetti right now, so if you hear me like chomping, which I hope you don't hear, honestly, I'll be muted for that stuff. That's because why? But I'm here to talk.
Well, if anything, we'd be hearing you slurping, not chewing.
Pause. Anyways.
Okay, anyway, folks. Like pollen is all around the place. It's the allergy season, as usual. So if you got allergies, make sure to take care of yourself appropriately. Like I'm sure Heel Balor does.
Oh, always.
So, Night of Champions is back for the first time since 2015. Oh my god. Granted, it was briefly replaced with a Clash of Champions, which did not make any sense because Clash of Champions refers to champions fighting each other, not defending their titles in the same situation they would have done at a Night of Champions. You know what I mean?
Oh, for real. It wouldn't make any sense. It never made any sense. Still the same concept, but the name change was just stupid.
Yeah. Now, initially, we were supposed to be talking about King and Queen of the Ring. This was the original pay-per-view that was supposed to be in Saudi Arabia. However, it was switched over to Night of Champions. Reasoning, I have no idea. I guess they just didn't want to have the same amount of wrestlers wrestling each other throughout the whole night, because that's what would have happened. And, the people down in Saudi Arabia would have been like, I wanted to see these guys or something like that. And they're like, no, we're just getting these guys over and over and over.
Exactly.
Night of Champions, in my opinion, is a lot better than the King of the Ring because, it's about the champions. It's about defending titles. We'll get a little bit more into that. However, I do think they should still go through with King and Queen of the Ring. Maybe do something where on Raw and SmackDown you're having these tournament matches, and then, SummerSlam, you're going to culminate it or something. Or at Crown Jewel, like they did in 2021.
Yeah, for real.
That way you can still have the tournament and not have to put the whole pay-per-view to be about it.
Yeah, dude, for real. Exactly.
Well, this ain't the first time they tried to revive a certain pay-per-view, but then, replaced it with something else instead. Like in 2017, they were supposed to bring back Bad Blood, and they ended up replacing it with the Great Balls of Fire.
I remember that very, very well.
Yep. I guarantee the only 2 reasons why they're not going to do that ever again is because, for one thing, people kept laughing at the name, and for the other, it's going to cost them a shit ton of money to use Jerry Lee Lewis's song all the time.
Exactly, copyright stuff. So yeah.
Yep, that's why if you look back on the WWE Network up here or in Peacock if you're in the United States, if you look back at Great Balls of Fire, you listen to the theme. It's not the same thing.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. That's why I was like, wait, what? And then I'm like, oh, right.
Exactly.
So here's the thing: we have 7 matches to talk about here. However, this is weird. When I think about it, when you think of 7 matches, you think, okay, 7 title matches, here we go. No, actually, it's not. What? Why not? Well, for one thing, Roman Reigns, he's not defending either of his 2 title belts, and this also marks day 1,000 of his title reign. But however, he is competing in a match. We'll get to that later. But the one thing, the Women's Tag Team Championships, ladies and gentlemen, has been vacated because Liv Morgan apparently tore her rotator cuff. Oh my god.
And
As a result, they're not being defended. They're going to be decided on Monday Night Raw on the 29th of May. And of course, there's the United States Champion Austin Theory. He's defending his title against Sheamus tonight on SmackDown. It was probably recorded, but if you did not see the spoilers, just go ahead and get ready to watch the show and try your best to avoid the internet. I'm pretty sure you can easily do that. But yeah, I didn't understand that. They announced, okay, Austin Theory will defend next week on SmackDown against Sheamus. And I'm like, wait, literally 24 hours before the pay-per-view is literally right there, and we have a spot open here.
I rolled my eyes. I'm like, really?
That didn't make any sense. Austin Theory and Sheamus does sound like a pay-per-view worthy match, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, you had Austin Theory take on Bronson Reed and Bobby Lashley at Backlash, and it was 6 minutes, but those 6 minutes was actually well done.
It was 6 minutes. I swear it went by longer than that.
Yeah, it was only 6 minutes, apparently. But it was a good match. So I'm like, why is this match not happening at Night of Champions of all title matches?
So it's not of the champions, it's Night of some of the champions. That makes sense.
Night of some of the champions, indeed. Usually the theme was always every main roster title is to be contested. This is not the case for this time. I don't know if it's because some people are just not wanting to go to Saudi Arabia, or they just don't want to have too many matches on the card. As far as I know, it's a 4-hour event because all Saudi shows are 4-hour events. They're like super shows.
Yep.
And for us, it starts in the afternoon, so we don't give a crap if it's 5 hours. We have all day.
Exactly.
We're like Captain America. We could do this all day. Anyway, so we have 2 matches on the card that are not title matches whatsoever. They're not title matches. Yep. However, they do look interesting. So let's get started, shall we? The first match we're talking about is practically one of the biggest women's dream matches of all time, and that's Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus. Oh, unfortunately, I'll be honest, the build-up has not exactly been that good. I mean, I can understand. I think Trish, with all due respect to her, she just doesn't have the voice of a bad guy anymore. She sounds too nice.
Thank you. That's what I've been saying, dude. I did this on my YouTube channel when I talked about the show. Feel Balor, by the way. I basically said that Trish just doesn't feel like a heel in 2023. Like, it's like when they turned Edge heel last year with the Judgment, which I freaking love, mind you. It's like the live audience didn't want to boo Edge. Like me, myself, at home, I wanted to cheer him. I love that side of Edge, especially with him, the Judgment. But with Trish Stratus, with her current thing, what she's doing is, she's jealous, I guess, of Becky's success and, all that stuff. And, she roped in the women's division and all that stuff. I mean, it's working, kinda. It's just that the audience doesn't want to boo her. So it's just a weird situation with that. Trish right now in 2023 doesn't, if that makes any sense.
You look at the history of Trish Stratus in the latest number of years. She's a mother of 2, I believe, and she runs her own yoga studio. She's got a lot of success, and she's a co-host of Canada's Got Talent. How do you look at that and claim we should make this a bad guy here?
I don't know. Ask WWE.
And no disrespect to the man Becky Lynch, but I'm really thinking the whole big time Bex thing has really damaged her a bit.
It's run its course. That's the problem.
Yeah, she is trying to go back to being the man and everything. However, she keeps reverting too much to big time Bex.
That's the problem. They're trying to mix the two, which is fine. But either choose one or the other. I love big time Bex, but we've talked about this many times on the show. I prefer the man. That's just me.
Yeah. So, this whole thing took place because, however, I'll be honest, I don't really like the reason why Trish Stratus turned heel. Because, the whole reason was she felt jealous. And Becky Lynch was was best buddies with Lita and always using up with her and only called up Trish when she needed a third person involved in her team.
And then she took out Lita backstage. She took out herself. She took out Lita backstage. We haven't seen Lita since, obviously, because, she's not wrestling now. So, and that was it. And just a reason. It's just, in my opinion, just stupid. And why would she be jealous of Becky when you're in the freaking Hall of Fame, which Becky is not? Just saying.
Yeah, I'll be honest. This whole thing was about everybody should be saying thank you, Trish, for everything I've done. Trish, no disrespect, but everyone's literally been thanking you for over a decade.
What this reminds me of? This reminds me of Dolph Ziggler, like when he said, like, it should have been me when Kofi Kingston was WWE champion. I know that's a weird comparison, but like, it's not working, like, with the storyline here.
Weird comparison indeed, especially since, in my opinion, it didn't work for Dolph Ziggler because at that point, he had already beaten Kofi to being champion first.
Exactly.
Twice.
Yep.
Trish Stratus, 7-time women's champion. Becky Lynch, I don't know, 4 or 5-time, I believe.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And Trish still has a longer title reign than Becky.
Exactly.
By about 450 days, remember that one title reign? She held it from like the entirety of 2005 up until WrestleMania 2006 when she lost to Mickie James. Yep. So, and here's the thing. Everybody remembers it because they remember how great she was and her feuds. Also, the one thing I didn't really like is Becky Lynch bringing up the whole Trish being forced to bark like a dog. Because the way I see it, I'm like, Trish clearly got over that like years ago. How's that going to help?
And then they brought up the whole thing with Becky's broken nose. I'm like, can we just drop that shit? Can we please drop that?
It's like,
stupid.
If anything, you should be the thing. What's next? They're going to bring back Nia Jax just so she can have a feud with Becky and saying, I'm the only reason you're popular because I punched you in the face. You should see me saying, thank you, Nia.
Don't speak that out in the open because we had the Cena Rumble and I had a very big hissy fit over that.
Yeah, indeed. Hey, it worked out for Becky Lynch in the end.
It did.
Main eventing and winning the main event of WrestleMania, and I was there for that. It was fantastic. But thankfully, she won it on my birthday, not yours.
Yeah, WrestleMania next year.
Yeah, well, you still got Balor winning the Intercontinental title on your birthday.
And Seth Rollins and Bobby Lashley. And
don't forget about Kofi Kingston, who won the WWE title on your birthday.
Classic. Go back and watch it, folks.
Yeah, I remember. You were crying.
Did I cry? I don't forget.
You told me. I remember.
I did, yeah. I wish I got a reaction to that.
Yeah, I did. I was crying in the audience.
Yeah, man.
Good times.
Classic.
But when you look at Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus, you think that's one of the biggest women's dream matches of all time. And to me, it still is because, it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah,
but the problem is the storyline has not exactly been that good. You got Becky Lynch trying to be a mix of the man and big-time Bex. Despite being attacked by Trish that one time, she hasn't lost her smile or anything. She's not depressed or she's not pissed off. She's like, what the hell? I'll just kick your ass.
Thank you, Trish. Like, I've seen freaking smiling Finn Balor smile more than you, and that's saying something. Good gosh. Thank you, Trish. Like,
for all you Harry Potter fans out there, I know there's this character everybody hates the most, Dolores Umbridge from the 5th one. She's all nicey, but she's violently evil to the point where everybody hated her more than the actual bad guy. Unfortunately, Trish Stratus can't do that.
She can't, because it's what's the wording? Not even cringe. Like, I love Trish, but and I should be excited. Like, it's one of the legends coming in facing one of my faves. But it's not working.
Perhaps they wanted to originally do this match at SummerSlam at that stadium in Detroit, which, by the way, folks, I'm going to be attending as part of my summer tour. If you haven't seen my summer tour video, it's available now. Go check it out. But I think they decided to have the match here at Night of Champions instead of SummerSlam because after realizing that this wasn't working out, they're like, we can't delay this for another 2.5 months.
Don't. Please, legit don't.
Or they probably will. And that's why I'm predicting Trish Stratus is going to win this match.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also believe Trish Stratus is going to go for the Raw Women's Championship or the SmackDown, whichever. I still don't know the whole thing with the Raw and SmackDown Women's title situation.
Oh, dude. I don't freaking know what they're doing. We'll talk about freaking belts, but I don't know, man. I got a lot to say on that.
Hell, Trish Stratus is not even a free agent. She's literally got drafted to Raw.
She's not even never.
There's a lot of mess ups for this match, and it's unfortunate. It really sucks. I hate to say it, but it sucks. You really are taking one of the biggest dream matches for the women, and you're kind of crushing the build-up to the point where nobody's going to be that interested in the climax.
You're slightly forcing, Trish to turn heel. I don't know.
Who the hell let Here's the thing. Who the hell let J.J. Abrams write this feud?
I don't freaking know, man. I don't know.
That dude couldn't even do well with Lost.
Nope. Who numbers Lost? I do whatever. I'm at that show. Oh, man.
Yeah, and unfortunately, he could not stick the landing.
Nope.
So I'm just hoping that these two at least stick the landing in the match in Saudi Arabia. Otherwise, the build-up is going to suck, and the execution of the match is going to suck. And they're like, wow, I can't believe we made that look like a dream match. This was horrible.
That's what you should have done. You should have done, have Lita face. I know the reason why Lita's not here is she's wrestling wise. She can't do it right now. But you should have done Lita and Trish. Then you should have kept Becky off TV for a while longer. That's what annoyed me the most out of this dude, is that Becky returned way too soon. It was 4 weeks. Actually, 4 weeks she was gone.
Yeah, it's about 4 weeks.
4 weeks, and she came back like it was nothing.
By the way, she was gone for 4 weeks, and when she came back, why is she back? I thought she had problems and wanted to leave the company.
Stuff like that, I guess.
Fucking rumors, am I right?
I don't know where those came from.
Neither do I. All right, well,
I don't know. I hope it's not a threesome. It's going to be though.
Probably,
anyways.
Yeah. But I really think that if they can at least put on a good match, then maybe it could save something up for a little later. But at the same time, I'm just not interested in this continuing after Night of Champions.
Excited! I should be so excited. Going back to one of my faves. One of my faves against a legend in Trish Stratus, who I like too. I should be excited. But nope, it's just.
I grew up watching Trish Stratus compete as a kid, and it was fun.
Hey.
But then and then Becky Lynch is somebody we're watching compete since 2014, I believe.
Yep, you're correct.
And it's been almost 10 years since we first saw her. And now you're in a moment where you're competing against. It's literally they're trying to make this like a women's version of, let's say, icon versus icon, Rock Hogan or Rock Cena, something like that. In this case, it's Becky Trish, and that should normally sound like it could be that, but they fucked it up. The whole thing, like when they did Rock and Cena for a whole year, everybody was interested from the first moment to the last moment.
Yep.
Rock and Hogan, that's another example. They did that correct.
Yeah, Rock and Stone Cold.
That technically wasn't icon versus icon. They were they're like, Cena and Randy Orton today.
Yeah, pretty much.
But I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be working out, so we just hope that this match is going to work out. So we both picked Trish Stratus to win, I believe, because we think it's going to continue?
Yeah, it's going to continue.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of matches that continue, we're here to talk about the next match, and that's Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar. And honestly, this is getting a lot more interesting.
It's getting a lot more violent, too, and I love every second of it.
At Backlash, Cody Rhodes bloodied up Brock Lesnar and then beat him by reversing the Kimura lock into a pin and then quickly escaping.
Run, boy. Run.
Yep, ran away, then got his ass whooped as a result.
Good, I left. Anyways.
Cody Rhodes tried to be in the tournament to crown the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion, which, by the way, folks, we'll be talking about a little later. We have a lot of exciting things to talk about for that. But however, Brock Lesnar interfered and attacked Cody Rhodes, and as a result, he's not going to be competing for it. So,
and then for a fight. Yep. A fight, Christian. A fight. Anyways.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar wanted a fight at Night of Champions. A fight at Night of Champions. But honestly, the way I'm looking at things, as of right now, this is not scheduled to be a fight. This is scheduled to be a singles match.
Oh, so there's not going to be a fight?
As far as I know, I don't see a fight. Why do we keep saying fight like that?
Because it's fun. Let's continue.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, I'm surprised this match wasn't at least made a no disqualification.
Well, wasn't made into that?
No, it wasn't. It's just a singles match.
Why?
Exactly. I don't know why. How the hell's that a fight? I mean, we literally got Brock Lesnar pulling a move that he did to The Undertaker in 2002 by smashing his hand with that heavy object. What the hell was that thing?
Was going to catch that. I immediately went to that. I'm like, that's a callback, and I love it.
It's literally how he broke The Undertaker's hand before they competed inside Hell in a Cell.
One of the most graphic Hell in a Cell matches. One of my personal favorites.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. But then, of course, Cody Rhodes showed up later that same night to try and fight Brock. And at this moment, I'm like, okay, Cody's just being stupid.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
Keep going.
I hate to say this, but Cody started to go back to his babyface and AEW days.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Didn't work out. Yeah, I don't like that either. I'm like, bad idea. This is probably not a good idea. Cody, no.
So what did you do, Cody, man? You win then, got destroyed by my beast, and I enjoyed every freaking second.
Yep. He only got what? If he was lucky, he got a single punch, but then got locked into another Kimura lock, and then Brock snapped his arm.
I was sitting there drooling over the entire thing.
What? Okay, that's just a little creepy, but okay. But I'm like, no offense, WWE, but you're kind of going down the AEW route of trying to force Cody Rhodes to be like your good guy, and he had a good thing. He had a good thing going on even without this.
Exactly.
Especially even after he lost to Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, he was still on top of his game.
Exactly. What are you doing? You're going back to the formula, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
Don't like it.
I mean, I get that he still competed inside Hell in a Cell last year with that torn pec. However, you're trying to force that on us now.
Yeah.
Cody,
my buddy said
Cody competing with an injury. I'm like, okay, that happened legitimately one time, and it worked because it was legitimate, and we knew that. This time, we know it's not legitimate.
Exactly. First of all, Brock wanted to be legitimate. It would have been legitimate.
Absolutely, it would have, but that ain't the case here. And then we're asking ourselves, okay, why are we're kind of shoving the whole Cody Rhodes fighting while injured narrative here, and that's not a good idea because we already know that he can get the job done. I honestly thought that he was out of his fucking mind at Hell in a Cell last year, but he earned my respect when he competed inside with that legitimately torn injury. And he still successfully beat Seth Rollins and had a good match. And that's what made us respect him so much. So WWE took a look at that and figured, hey, let's do that again, except this time without a legitimate injury. That's when we're like, no, we can tell the difference between what's real and what's not. So now you're just kind of forcing the issue on us.
And I don't want to go back to that. I don't. People know my issue with Cody and AEW. People know my issue with Cody on the Indies. I don't want to go back to that. I like Cody, but I don't like when any superhero-like wrestler is shoved in my face. And I know what people are going to be saying, like, oh, well, he's not shoved down y'all's throats. He's not shoved down anybody's throats and in people's faces. The injury angle slightly kind of is.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
Yeah, when I saw what was going on, I was like, oh, I see where they're going here. Especially when you had Triple H coming up to him and saying, no, we're not doing this, man. And Cody's like, I'm doing it. I'm going to fight Brock Lesnar with this injury, so help me God. Get in line. You're not the first person to do this.
You know what I said when he said that? I'm like, have fun. Just your funeral.
Absolutely. That's why I predict Brock Lesnar's going to win this match.
So if Cody wins, like I'm gonna. Oh,
for God's sakes, Cody won the first match by luck.
Please win, Brock. Please.
Yeah.
Please. Cody needs to go through trials and tribulations. I've explained this with my boys. He needs to go through trials and tribulations before getting to the big moments. And like, I don't know. If he beats Brock, whatever. I'm not gonna throw a fit or anything, but obviously, like, no. He's going a little bit more punishment. But I hope Brock wins. Not saying I want a squash match. I will laugh if that happens, but I want to see Cody through a little bit more pain and suffering before he finally gets the moment. You can still do the match where everyone's what's rumored to happen at SummerSlam. You still do that. Just do the rematch at Money in the Bank. Or maybe somewhere else. I don't freaking know. Just please let Cody go through more trials and tribulations. And I know people are going to say, like, he's went through enough. He's went through enough. Isn't bad enough. I don't know. Is it really enough? Is really enough never enough? How about you, Christian? Is enough really never enough? I don't know.
I don't really think. I think here's the thing. The first when he lost to Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, that was his one moment when he had his first trial and loss, and he actually did skip back to his feet after that, which that's on the Raw after WrestleMania. We're like, oh, okay, he's immediately getting back to his feet, and he's still going after Roman Reigns after that. So we were like, okay, he's got a different demeanor. I see where this is going now. And I was like, okay, we're going to have a team up with Brock Lesnar. That surprised me. But then when Brock attacked Cody Rhodes, that's the other thing. We don't know why Brock Lesnar did that. And now, more recently, I'm starting to think there's something else behind this thing. That somebody else is trying to stop Cody from achieving the big goal. Sounds awfully this kind of awfully sounds familiar to the moment where some wrestler who everybody is behind is about to win the big one, but then it is taken away by some sort of authority figure who makes his life a living hell for months and months and months, and then finally it culminates at WrestleMania with that guy winning against said authority figure, and then going on to actually win the title in the main event that same night.
I wonder what that reminds me of. He just had a birthday 2 days ago. I wonder what that reminds me of.
Huh. Do you think Triple H could really be behind this?
I'd laugh. Because Triple H can't get in the ring anymore. But you could still be behind the whole thing.
Well,
somebody's behind.
Maybe some sort of redemption for Cody smashing his throne on the first ever AEW event?
If that is the case, I will be smiling big.
That'd be funny as hell.
Like, I know people, y'all be thinking we're just trashing Cody Rhodes for the sake of it. No, we're trashing because there's constructive criticism for this. We talk about the bright spots too, but there's more, in our opinion, bad than really good. It's just saying.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, well, folks, I believe I'm going for Brock Lesnar to win this match. What about you?
Brock Lesnar, but watch Cody win.
Okay, we're gonna move on to the championship matches here. We have 5 titles up for grabs here, and we're gonna start with the SmackDown Women's Championship. As Monday Night Raw's Rhea Ripley is defending the SmackDown Women's title against Monday Night Raw's Natalya. You see where this is going still?
I don't know. I really don't know why.
I just find it funny that the Raw and SmackDown Women's Champions are on the opposite brands of the title's name, and yet they have not exactly appeared on the brand for that title.
They haven't addressed it either, which is very weird.
Hey, you're the SmackDown Women's Champion, right? Yeah. What the hell are you doing here on Raw? I got drafted here. Okay, well, are you allowed to be on SmackDown? No. Why? Because I got drafted here. Okay, but you're holding the SmackDown... I got drafted here!
That still don't make any sense. Don't get it.
Just take the names out. Take the Raw and SmackDown names out of it or something. I don't know.
That's why I heard. Like, they might be taking the names out, or there's new belts coming in.
I would like that. I honestly would like that. It would probably help things out.
Get rid of those damn things and bring in new belts, just like you brought in Mini Gold. You'll understand what that reference is a few minutes later.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Yeah, the whole thing of adding Raw and SmackDown to the name is just not exactly working out.
That's like on the WWE title, the WWE SmackDown Championship. Don't make any sense.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I get that even the world titles, but when the first brand split happened, they did not call the Universal title the Raw Universal title, despite it being red. And even then, we were confused on whether or not a SmackDown guy could hold a red belt. But then, they changed it to blue. So I'm like, oh, okay, I see where this is going.
It's been blue ever since.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Rhea Ripley won the title from Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. Had a pretty decent match with Zelina. Okay, that wasn't that good.
It was basically a showcase match.
Yeah, now I felt bad for Zelina Vega. She got absolutely almost squashed in her home of Puerto Rico.
I cried. I don't care. I cried during that match.
And now, with all due respect to one of the all-time greats, Natalya, yeah, I said one of the all-time greats. Fight me on that.
Exactly, because I've been watching Natty since her debut in 2008.
Yeah, Natalya is mostly used just as a side opponent until a bigger feud comes in, and that's honestly sad. Well, I will be honest. I thought that was the same case in 2017, but remember at SummerSlam, she beat Naomi to win that title. I was like, oh, she finally got something.
She also faced Becky Lynch the year after SummerSlam, right?
It was actually 2 years later because it was in Toronto, and I'm like, that's the only reason they had her face Becky Lynch is because it was in Toronto.
So what does that mean? Like, I don't know. I said this on my video. You know, Natty's been used mainly as like she's the veteran. She's the woman who basically goes to all the media tours, does all the meet and greets, all kind of stuff, does all the charity work, and she's willing to go over there and put somebody over in a match, which is fine. But like, it still doesn't make any sense in the storyline of why it's happening.
Yep.
At all.
Yeah, Natalya stopped Rhea Ripley from attacking Dana Brooke of all people.
Dana Botch. Anyway,
I'm like, Dana Brooke, who hadn't been seen at all in 2023, was squashed by Rhea Ripley, and Natalya figured, okay, I'm going to help Dana. And then the following week, it's going to be like, oh, really? You think you're going to get a title shot just because you saved Dana Brooke? Wait, who? Oh, right.
Damn.
Natalya stated that the reason she did this is because Rhea Ripley attacked an already defeated woman, and that's disrespectful. I'm like, hey, that happens like literally every freaking week, and you've done that yourself too, so what the hell are you talking about?
The funny part for me is that she just walked out there and just looked at Rhea in the eyes and just said nothing and tried to look intimidating. I'm like, you're going to freaking get destroyed. I just smirked. I'm like, okay, they're going to have this match on Raw next week. Watch it happen. I'm like, oh, they're going to do this at Night of Champions. Okay, cool with me.
I'm like, they're doing that at Night of Champions, but they're not having Austin Theory take on Sheamus in a potential banger at Night of Champions?
Exactly, because Austin Theory deserves better. Hashtag Austin Theory deserves better. Don't put that out there.
Yeah. And I'm like, really? Where are we going with this? And Rhea Ripley even said herself that Natalya is just trying to be relevant again. I'm like, it's her time of the year.
Yeah, I guess it's the time again. I love Natty. Met her twice. Great person, but I don't know, man.
And if she likes if she's like I'll be honest, I will admit, yes, I approve of what Natalya does even outside. She's a global ambassador for all international things going on. And she's done a great job with charity work and a lot of other things. Just makes me, and she's willing to, put someone over in a big time match such as this one. Makes me wonder how Titus O'Neil hasn't gotten a title match yet.
Say that. I was just about to say it legitimately. I'm like, how come Titus O'Neil hasn't gotten something like this? Where's Titus O'Neil's WWE Championship shot? Titus O'Neil's in the Hall of Fame. He's in the Hall of Fame, for God's sake. Titus O'Neil. And yes, people, that is a Hall of Fame induction. Titus O'Neil is in the Hall of Fame. Where is his shot? Justice for Titus O'Neil. Please.
Yeah, so far we talked Becky and Trish, a match that's a dream match that has a shit build-up. Cody and Brock, which is having some problems because they're trying to force the whole Cody working with an injury thing and the whole Cody is a babyface in AEW thing, which didn't work out. And now we got Rhea Ripley and Natalya, which was put there so Rhea could have a title match at Night of Champions.
Then what? The Dana Brooke match.
Why is Dana? You might as well make it a triple threat. Let's throw Dana Brooke into the mix or something.
Do the triple threat. Like, Rhea destroys them both. Easily. Double Riptide? Like, what the heck? Like, why? If you wanted to put Dana on TV, which people are clamoring for, and then you do the triple threat. You have Natty go in there, you have Dana go in there, and Rhea go in there. Like, makes sense. Please.
Yeah, that could be something we got going on. But in this case, I believe, yes, Rhea Ripley is going to retain, obviously.
That's right. Natalya! Rhea Ripley's going to win.
Yes, absolutely. However, just because Natalya ain't going to win, that doesn't mean that she's incapable of putting on a good match. She still puts on good matches.
Natty's great.
And I'll be honest, Rhea Natty, like I mentioned, willing to give that a watch because, honestly, I got no problem with this. The build-up is the issue.
Build-up's trash. Because there is really no build-up. I mean, there is build-up, it's just trash.
Yeah, if anything, we should just have Dominic Mysterio face Natalya or something.
I just also realized none of the members of Judgment outside of Rhea are having a match. Justice for Finn Balor on Damien Priest.
Technically, none of them are none of them are champions or have even tried to challenge for this. I mean, Finn Balor tried to win the World Heavyweight Title tournament. That didn't work out.
We don't talk about
Damian
that.
Priest and Dominic Mysterio, they're not going for the tag titles because, well, we got Roman and Solo doing that for you.
Yep.
And, yeah, Mommy is the only champion in the group, so she's got to be there.
Yes, Mommy has to be there. Yes.
Anyways, the next match is for the Raw Women's Championship as Friday Night SmackDown's Bianca Belair is taking on Friday Night SmackDown's Asuka. Again, here we go with this.
You know,
however, it's about freaking time that this feud between them did something that should have been done heading into WrestleMania. Asuka turned heel, or one of them should have turned heel anyway, spraying the mist in Bianca's face. Here's the thing, she did that, and I'll be honest, Bianca oversold it a bit, but it was at least done really well. However, Asuka should have done that in the build-up to WrestleMania itself, because in the actual build-up, all she did was throw up in the ring.
And it was gross. And kind of funny, too.
And all Bianca did was like, oh, really? And then guess what they did? They did the whole Can They Coexist team-up.
I hate that. Yes. I despise it.
Why do they keep doing that?
Can we please drop that? Legitimately, can we please drop that garbage? I hate it when any wrestling company does that. Can they coexist? Can they coexist? Like, of course they can.
Hell, AEW is doing that too.
Exactly.
Like, oh my God, everybody's doing that now. It's ridiculous.
Jeez. God.
And now, of course, finally, Asuka at least did something. It took her losing after she should have won at WrestleMania.
Shouldn't have, by the way.
Sorry, what?
Which she shouldn't have lost, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I just said.
Exactly.
But in this case, Asuka's finally doing something. And with all due respect to Bianca Belair, we're kind of done here.
It has gotten stale.
I'm the BEST. I'm the strongest, the fastest, the toughest, blah, blah, blah-ist, annoyingest, roughest, boringest. That's not even a wordist.
This is exactly where the reign should. Did you not hear Puerto Rico? And I know what people are going to say. Well, people all around the world love it, and that's fine. Did you not hear Puerto Rico, though? Did you not hear the heat? They're going to be forced to turn Bianca heel. Like, she's getting the John Cena, not to the extent, but she is getting the John Cena kind of treatment a little bit with, I know it happens to every super topic guy. Watch it happen with Cody, mind you. Love Cody. But still, I just, again, I've said this many times. The reign should have been in Extreme Rules last year to Bayley in that ladder match. Perfect time, perfect place.
And if you wanted Bianca to be a champion heading into WrestleMania, you still could have done that. Bayley held on to it from Extreme Rules up until, the fucking Royal Rumble. I don't know.
It could have Bianca win at the Rumble, and then Bianca could have dropped it at Mania to Asuka, which she should have done. But people backstage changed their minds because they're idiots.
Yeah,
you think should have won inside Hell in a Cell, but what am I? Anyways.
Yeah, I don't get where they're going with that. I don't get where they're going with that whole thing. Because Bianca Belair has beaten practically almost every credible female, kind of similar to how Roman Reigns has beaten almost every credible male.
Which makes me wonder why I'm nowhere comparing Bianca Belair and Roman Reigns, because unlike Roman Reigns, Bianca Belair appears on television every week. Tribal Chief.
Yes, that is also true right there. So at least Bianca has the advantage in that case. However, let's take a look. She's beat Becky Lynch. She's beat Asuka. Has she beat Charlotte? No, she hasn't beat Charlotte Flair. Now it's kind of the point where we're like, can we get Charlotte Flair over here, please?
She's too busy freaking doing workouts and stuff like that and being with Andrade.
Yep. Let's see. She beat Io Sky. She beat Bayley like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. I don't know.
Yep, that was basically her view.
Yep. Let's see. She conquered Damage Control 3-on-1.
Gross.
Yeah, I still don't understand why the hell they did that.
Left at the Rumble.
Yep.
And then she did something at the No, she didn't. She didn't do it in the Chamber. She beat Asuka at Mania. And then she beat
Io Sky at Backlash.
At Backlash. And here we are again with Asuka, who for some reason is a heel, even though I legit thought she was a heel during Mania, but apparently not, because heels smile. Just ask Braun Breaker and Apollo Crews last year.
Yep. We'll be talking about Braun Breaker tomorrow's podcast on NXT Battleground.
Yes.
That should be fun. But anyway, yeah, Bianca Belair, she's beaten Becky Lynch's record. She's now the longest reigning Raw Women's Champion. Congratulations. Well done. Unfortunately, Becky's reign to me is still better.
Becky's also still the longest reign combined, welcome.
However, also, I do believe that even Becky Lynch should have dropped her title to Shayna Baszler in 2020.
Mania.
Yep.
Right?
Absolutely.
Exactly.
And they didn't pull the trigger on that, just like they didn't pull the trigger on Bianca losing it to Asuka at WrestleMania. So we're kind of stuck in that same scenario. Only this time, Bianca's not pregnant, and she's still going strong. That's the difference. However, Becky Lynch, you look at her title reign, and while it was weird seeing her feuding with Lacey Evans for a couple months, she also conquered Charlotte Flair. She conquered Ronda Rousey. She conquered Sasha Banks inside Hell in a Cell.
Yep. Great match.
Good fucking times. And then Becky Lynch, she's had good match after good match. I even remember that Royal Rumble 2020, the rematch with Asuka.
I do.
Yes, and that was the whole, can you beat me after I made you tap out at last year's Royal Rumble?
Correct.
And then we were like, we got something going on here. I like it. Then she had the perfect opportunity to drop it to Shayna Baszler, but then she didn't. But then she ended up relinquishing the title and just handing it over to Asuka because she got pregnant.
So basically, in hindsight, Rue is the one who ended her mother's own reign.
Yep.
All right.
Now, I guess if you want to go that route, then Seth Rollins ended the reign.
Seth Rollins ended Becky Lynch's reign because Seth Rollins can keep burning it down.
But in all seriousness, though, we actually do congratulate them.
Oh, yes. They're great parents.
Rue, at this year, later at the end of this year, she'll be 3 years old.
Oh, how sweet.
Kids grow up so fast, don't they?
I wouldn't know, so I'm kidding. Of course I wouldn't.
Becky Lynch was still, in my opinion, the best Raw Women's Champion. Bianca Belair, I get it. She's the EST. She's the strongest, the toughest, the fastest. The thing is, I was more impressed with that when she wasn't a champion. You know why? Remember the time she feuded with Bayley in the Thunderdome? Remember when Bayley made her go through that obstacle course? That was actually fun.
So much fun. She carried Otis.
And that was the moment we were like, holy shit, Bianca's got game here. And then Bianca Belair won the main event of that year's WrestleMania with Sasha Banks. And then we're like, finally, we got a new direction going on here. And it was going good. And when she won the title from Becky Lynch at WrestleMania last year, I was like, all right, I see where that's going here. And here we go. We're time to see what we got going on. But then we get the same thing again and again for over a year. If you're having a champion for over a year, you should probably at least try and repackage them or do something else. It's like, watching the same movie.
Roman. Anyways.
Nah, not really.
Okay, fair enough. Becky, and Becky Lynch. Yes, I'll admit, Becky does get stale as champion. Because I loved her reign. She's getting stale.
She was stale. Yep. Especially when I'll finally say it, when she came back in 2021, it just felt so forced to put the title immediately back on her within minutes.
I smiled and laughed at that, and I love Twitter melted now, so I'm not going to say about that.
Yeah.
And I did admit also it was very stupid I didn't do that, but I was also cutting my fan because
when Asuka returned at the Royal Rumble under that new gimmick that was reminiscent of her New Japan days, that's when we were like, we could finally get the Asuka that we saw in NXT, and we're like, finally get that one back. But then WrestleMania happened and Bianca destroyed her. I'm like, oh, come on.
Competitive match, but still, yeah, it was over. 1, 2, 3, and I walked away.
Yeah, and Io Sky, when she took on Bianca, the audience was having none of it. For every single, even so much as this tiny little punch that Bianca gave Io, they booed her like she was Roman Reigns after WrestleMania 33.
They were cussing. They were cussing her out of the building in Spanish.
Technically, they probably were cussing in Spanish, but they did not cuss in English, so I guess it doesn't count.
Ooh.
But if Asuka doesn't win this match, then in my opinion, she's dead.
Yep. And I will say Asuka will basically be, and I don't want to say this, actually, I will say it.
You wouldn't dare.
Buried. Yeah, I said it.
He said the scary word.
The forbidden word.
Well, the fact that heel Balor rarely ever says that word goes to show that we don't just use that for anyone. But if Asuka doesn't win at Night of Champions, then I don't think this is going to work out for her. So,
well, who do you got?
I unfortunately am going to say Bianca Belair is going to retain the title because, for reasons I still can't comprehend, they still have something to prove with her. Just like, I will admit, I could do with a little change of scenery even in the top world title situation.
I know exactly why Asuka's going to lose.
All right.
There's going to be a reason why. Now, granted, it depends on this individual's ready to come back or not. I think they're building up for SummerSlam, and I think Bianca's going to take on Charlotte. That's why I think that.
I could see that.
Yeah, and Asuka, I feel so bad for you. So, yeah, and I hate using the term buried. Everybody knows that. So before y'all start typing in the comments, she's not buried. She's not buried. She can be rebuilt. If she can be rebuilt, then they have her win the title here, which I hope they do, but I don't think they're going to. So I hope I'm proven wrong, but I don't think I'm going to be proven wrong. So we'll see. But I got Bianca winning, so you can't. It's like I said this in my video. You can't bet against Bianca. I'm promoting my video a lot in this thing. you can't bet against Bianca Belair at this point, just like you can't bet against our tribal chump,
tribal chief.
So acknowledge Finn Balor. Anyways,
okay, we're both going on Bianca Belair, albeit reluctantly.
Yep.
So we're going to move on to the next match. The next match we're going to talk about is actually interesting. The Intercontinental Championship. I did not see this coming at all. The champion, Gunther, who, by the way, folks, is a couple weeks away from reaching 1 year as the Intercontinental Champion, is defending. He's defending against Bronson Reed.
All right, Christian, hang on. Let me write this down. Okay, put that there. Okay, there you go, right there.
No, that's somebody's dream card, dude.
No, it's not. Look right there, right?
Yeah, I know. I see. It says Mustafa Ali, dude. That's not actually happening. You know, Mustafa Ali's a dropper.
Yeah, let me turn on YouTube. Okay, there's the clip. Okay, right there. You see that?
Mustafa Ali has eliminated Bronson Reed and Ricochet. He's going to Night Champion. Is this for real?
Yeah, you see the pyro going on? Yeah.
Oh my God, he had a pyro celebration.
There's the graphic right there.
Oh my God, is Mustafa Ali a top star again?
No.
No?
No.
What's he doing here?
They're just doing this to pass time.
Oh, okay. Okay, you know what? I can get with that. Okay, Gunther's taking on Mustafa Ali, folks.
Wonderful.
Likely because we're in Saudi Arabia and he's of Pakistan descent, and that's the closest they can get to because Mansoor is, for whatever reason, still detained.
Yeah. Bring back Mansoor. Mansoor, what the guy's name was.
Mufasa. Oh, wait, that's African, sorry.
Shout out to the Lion King.
Lion King, classic movie.
Yes,
speaking of classic movies, folks, The Little Mermaid is in theaters now, so go check it out.
And be part of our world in this loser's lounge.
What? Oh, right, part of our world. I thought you were referencing Beauty and the Beast with Be Our Guest.
Well, I mean, they can be our guest. We had guests at Mania last month.
That is true. Anyway, Gunther's taking on Mustafa Ali, and I'll be honest, Gunther, before a battle royal took place, I had cut a promo, and this is where I loved it, because he elevated the Intercontinental title a lot more by saying he's dominated almost a year on SmackDown as the Intercontinental, and here's what I like, he called it the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship, and I love that name.
Cool, that's cool with me.
Yep.
Even though it doesn't make any sense, but the World Heavyweight Champion. Oh.
And he said, I will continue this domination here on Monday nights. And what I like about it is he takes care of it so precise, with such sacred, with such sacred protection, because he looks at it as a holy grail. And he says, whoever is a winner has earned the right to be in the ring for this prestigious belt. And I'm like, it's about fucking time we get an Intercontinental Champion like that.
Yeah, for real.
And the best part is, this is the same brand that's introducing the World Heavyweight Championship. So we got that, and we have an Intercontinental Champion who's honestly been a great champion. Honestly, the best Intercontinental champion since The Miz, in my opinion.
Oh, yes. But nobody passes the Miz.
I mean, Gunther could be very well on his way to doing that.
I was just about to say that.
Or if he hasn't already. And which in that case, I'm cool with it, because I'm like, if anyone's going to pass The Miz as a great Intercontinental champion, Gunther's the right one. And I also love that Gunther has been wildly protected throughout his entire career in WWE.
But he was going to be buried, remember?
He was. But then he wasn't. And then he was. And then he wasn't. And then he was going to be. And then he wasn't.
Exactly. Any more questions?
Yeah. How did Gunther lose to Drew McIntyre in 2 minutes of Survivor Series? Claymore. I always said it's Claymore.
Yeah, Claymore.
And honestly, here's the thing, folks. Speaking of, Drew McIntyre's sister-in-law passed away recently, so we want to take this moment and send our condolences to his family, especially to his wife.
Yep.
It's unfortunate when this shit happens.
Really is.
Whenever Drew comes back, I'd love to see him in a feud with Gunther on the Intercontinental title, and I'd like Drew to actually bring up how I once beat you within 2 minutes, and I can do that again.
Hey, I'll be down for that.
Yep. Hey, Gunther, McIntyre, and Sheamus had one of the best matches at WrestleMania last month, and that was still awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And personally, I think it'll be a lot cooler to see Gunther and Drew one-on-one, especially since we had the bangers with Gunther and Sheamus one-on-one.
I love good bangers.
Indeed. So, Gunther can make a good match out of anybody. Like, you know, he had a great Intercontinental title match with Xavier Woods a couple weeks ago.
Oh, my man Woods.
And it really established Xavier Woods as someone who can really hang. So that's why I got a good feeling about this match with Mustafa Ali.
I do too.
Because Mustafa has been treated as just the biggest joke ever, whether it was Retribution, even how the hell did they break into the podcast that one time?
You forgot to lock the door.
Yes, I did. Anyway, from Retribution to I Want to Be Released to this positive attitude thing, hey, at least it's working for him because he's been winning matches lately. So, this match with Gunther, I don't think he's going to win the title. However, I think they could put on what could be the best match of the night.
He's going to come close.
Gunther is the type of guy that, honestly, imagine if Roman Reigns was just like him.
Ooh.
Imagine if Roman Reigns, just like Gunther, didn't rely on the bloodline and just kept telling him to get the hell out of here because I can do this shit myself. You just take care of your business.
I wish.
That's what we like about Imperium. Giovanni Vinci and Ludwig Kaiser know better.
They really don't get involved.
Yeah, they don't really get involved. They take care of their own business and they let Gunther handle his own. That's why they're a stable that has no reason to have any animosity toward each other.
Exactly.
The only time they would is when Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci constantly lose their matches. However, I really think they should go after the tag team titles.
Please.
Because how cool would it be to see all three of them as champions?
Cool with me.
Yep, cool with me. Hell, honestly, I'd like to see for the Intercontinental title in the future, Gunther and Finn Balor.
Yes, that was taken away from us in 2020.
Or maybe Gunther and Damian Priest. Especially after Damian Priest's amazing performance at Backlash at Bad Bunny.
Oh, that was classic. I'm actually going to rewatch after we're done recording.
Hell yeah. So, Gunther, I think, will retain the title. I really personally believe, yes, he deserves to break the Honky Tonk Man's record. Hold on to it up to mid-September.
Yeah, he does.
However, I'm totally cool if he doesn't make it there because while everybody is just hoping and begging, please hold on to the title a little longer, just a little longer. I'm like, please put on a good match. Please put on another good match, just like the last one, and the one before that, and the one before that, and the one before that.
I honestly can't. Like, I kind of wanted to lose. Like, not yet, obviously. I kind of wanted to break the record and lose the title, and then immediately get put into the world title picture because he's ready.
Yeah. Here's another thing. Did you know, Willie, that Gunther, throughout his entire WWE career, has not been a champion for less than one combined year?
That is very interesting.
And he debuted in January of 2019, 4.5 years ago. Yep. He spent 2.5 years as the NXT United Kingdom champion, and then after he lost that, he won the Intercontinental title like 9 months later.
Yep.
And he's been champion ever since. June 10th on SmackDown, he beat Ricochet to win it.
Yep.
And oh my God, ever since then, Gunther's been on top of the game.
Yeah, he has.
And what I like about it is literally everybody loves Gunther for his performance and his respect for the industry. Even those backstage and those in charge of creative, they're like, this is the dude.
Yeah.
So I like what they're doing here. But, yep, I believe Mustafa Ali's going to put on a hell of a performance, but he ain't going to win. It's going to be Gunther.
Exactly.
Whew. All right. I thought I'd also let you guys know, this pay-per-view has been described as having a triple main event. And that's the moment when we're like, okay, now we're going overboard. Backlash, they said double, now they're saying triple. I'm going to assume SummerSlam quadruple, Money in the Bank quadruple, SummerSlam 5, and then WrestleMania. Every match on both nights is the main event.
Did we not do stupid cheesy names, WWE?
Yeah, that's really dumb. It's not exactly helping your case. It never did in the past when you tried that.
Triple main events. Like, why?
No!
There's only one main event.
There's only one main event. That's the last match.
Exactly.
Thank you. Anyways, we're going to start talking about this. I know you probably expected this for last, folks, but it ain't for last. So we're talking about it right now. Let's talk about the World Heavyweight Championship.
Oh, let me grab my baby over here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you have the big gold belt.
I do.
You can't see it, folks, but Heel Balor has the big gold belt. You can take a look at it on his YouTube channel.
Yep.
And it ain't, however, the one we have here is not the big gold belt. It's a version of it. Slightly modified. So we're going to crown a new WWE World Heavyweight Champion at Night of Champions, and the tournament was decided for both Raw and SmackDown, and the winners of the tournament that went into the finals is Seth Rollins and AJ Styles. I believe this is the first time that they've competed against each other since Money in the Bank 2019.
Title-wise, yes.
For the Universal title. And a big-time match like that at Money in the Bank. And how great was that match?
Dude, we're going into, I'm like, it's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. Like, they went out there and showed they could still hang. Especially AJ. I mean, Seth can still hang, obviously. AJ can still hang. So what am I talking about?
Yep. So, let's see. You have AJ Styles. And folks, for the record, people questioning, is it obvious who's winning this match? No, it's not, in my opinion. Because Triple H himself said the WWE World Heavyweight title is going to be produced for Monday Night Raw only once its lineage begins. We'll also get to the lineage in a moment. However, that means if by common sense, and for whatever reason, people need to literally hear exact words of confirmation these days. I'm like, just use your freaking common sense. It obviously means if AJ Styles wins, he's moving automatically to Monday Night Raw because that's how this damn belt works. Hello?
Exactly, Brother Miracle.
Use your common sense. Use your brain. If you had to hear literally every single, freaking letter of a confirmation, my God, I don't know what to tell you. It's like when you're learning how to drive. A driving instructor doesn't tell you exactly how to turn the wheel.
Yeah.
Use your common sense. You should know how to do that. All they tell you is which direction to go and what to do next. They don't tell you how to do it.
Yeah.
Bingo. And same can be said for this. So if Seth Rollins wins, well, he's already part of Raw. So he stays on Raw. If AJ Styles wins, he wins and he brings himself over to Raw. It's that simple. It's that easy. The fact that nobody can really comprehend that, they need to hear exact word for word things. really goes to show their brains are not functioning properly, and they really need to just shut their fucking mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But as for lineages, yes, folks, I can tell you guys right here, we've seen it. This is going to continue the lineage of the World Heavyweight Championship from 2002 to 2013.
Yes.
So,
tell him, Chris.
Seth and AJ are not going to be the inaugural. They are going to be the next World Heavyweight Champion.
He literally said it in the promo.
The next World Heavyweight Champion. We're going to crown a new World Heavyweight Champion, not crown the first World Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah.
There's the difference. Yeah, that's the difference.
Exactly. I was like, it took a while for my friend to explain it. I was like, oh, okay, so they are continuing. So I got very excited.
Yep. Example, if, let's say, Edge would have won it, he would not be a one-time champ. He would have been an 8-time on the record. Because he's won the World Heavyweight title 7 times. He's a 11-time champ overall. But that one he held 7 times. So if he were to win it again, it would have been number 8.
But people are a little confused there now. Because people are saying, oh, but they retired the World Heavyweight Championship. It's been unified. Well, they ununified it.
Yeah. Hello. When it was unified, that title was retired. And they put it in favor of the WWE Championship. It's not that hard to figure out. It's literally, the answer is right there. You're blind.
It's right there. Right in front of you.
My God.
Just skip everything and just put it all together while I cuddle with my belt.
And here's another thing. How the hell is this considered a secondary title?
Oh, I'm going to talk about this. People are saying this is the consolation prize. It's a consolation prize. It's like, oh, well, Roman Reigns. This is people who couldn't Roman Reigns.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt, but you said at first you said constellation. I'm like, that's the stars in the sky.
Stars, yeah. Well, these are wrestling stars. There you go. But anyways, people are saying like, oh, well, this is the secondary belt. You know, this is for people who couldn't beat Roman Reigns. That may be true. But go ahead, explain, Christian, if you want to.
Well, the thing, of course, is, like, it's not a consolation prize because there's been 2 world champions several times before. Just because Roman Reigns has 2 for the price of 1 doesn't mean he's the one and only. For one thing, Ricochet's the one and only. But for the other, for this scenario, this is reversing the mistake that was made a year and a half ago. Actually, not a year and a half. It was just about a year and a month ago. When Roman Reigns supposedly unified the titles, when they were never unified. I mean, both the WWE title and the Universal title, their lineages are still alive. Unlike what happened in 2013, when the World Heavyweight title was literally just an empty vessel.
Yeah.
Randy Orton was the last champion. And now Seth Rollins or AJ Styles will be the next champion after him. And then, of course, people try to make you think, oh, does that mean Randy Orton's been champion for 10 years? No, don't even try to go there.
No, not even close.
Yep. My God. It's absolutely crazy.
It's very, like, my reaction when I first saw the belt itself, I love the only thing I don't like about it is the big W. I would have changed it gold. I would have made the whole thing gold, obviously. But I can let that slide.
Okay, all right, sorry to interrupt, but this is a little random. It doesn't have anything to do with the situation, but I just got word of something, folks.
Yes?
Legendary musician, legendary artist Tina Turner has passed away.
Hey, what? No way. Hang on, let me check.
Yeah. That just happened.
So,
at the time of recording, folks, Wednesday, May 24th.
Hang on. Oh. Shoot. Rest in peace.
Yeah, legend.
God damn it. Rest in peace. Legend.
More recently, also, rest in peace, the superstar Billy Graham.
Yep.
And also to actor Ray Stevenson. That was out of nowhere.
Yeah, it was.
Ray Stevenson, who will be performing in the upcoming Ahsoka Tano series this August on Disney+. Plus.
Yep.
So it'll be posthumous. Yep. My God, right?
Wow.
So, folks, we're gonna move on because, well, we don't want things to be too sad here on the podcast. However, In this case, I believe either man could absolutely win it, and I'd be totally cool with it. So I'm just excited to see a great match between Seth Rollins and AJ Styles. But my pick is Seth Rollins.
I'm going to be the odd man out, and I just want to be different. I'm going to pick AJ Styles.
Oh, really?
I don't know why. I just got this feeling, ever since, it's been obvious Seth has been going to win, but usually WWE likes to throw a loophole in there. So I could see AJ Styles winning. I had no problem with Seth Rollins winning. My only issue, WWE, is that if the Ladies of the World title was back, nobody surpasses my man. Nobody surpasses my man, Batista. The only one who came close was Sheamus, and I would have been perfectly fine with that. But nobody. That includes you, Mr. Balor.
Yeah,
that is nobody's. That's the only thing I don't like with the lineage being back, is my man's the longest reigning. The longest combined is Edge. So, actually, longest combined is Triple H. So, there you go. So, nobody beats my man. If they can, that's fine, but still, I'll be very mad. Anyways, there you go. I'm very excited that the world title is back. And yes, it's the same title. Well, kind of. Same lineage. And just, I love that it's back. I had a smile on my face. And it's funny because people were speculating, it's the Winged Eagle belt being brought back. You do realize Triple H has never held the Winged Eagle Championship, and that belt is overrated. No offense. And I know people say the World Heavyweight Championship and the Big Gold is overrated. That's totally fine, too. So there you go. But I'm perfectly fine that the Big Gold, Mini Gold is what me and my friends call it, Mini Gold, is back. And I'm very excited to see who is going to become champion. But I'm actually a Christian, too. Like, as much as we're choosing, we're making a prediction who we want to win. We honestly just want to see a great match because two of the best going out there.
Yep. All right, folks, we are now going to move on to the other main event. The first match we talked about, that was the main event, by the way, Cody Rhodes, Brock Lesnar. The second one, the World Heavyweight title. And now we're going on to the Undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship. We chose to talk about this one last because, let's be honest, it has the top story heading into this.
Correct.
Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn's in Saudi Arabia?
Christian, this is not the first time Sami's been in Saudi.
I mean, technically, yes, you're right, because, he was at a live event in 2014 due to the relations between Saudi Arabia and Syria being restored after they had been suspended indefinitely by the Syrian conflict in 2011. However, of course, the conflict kind of messed up in the later years, and from 2018 up until now, Sami Zayn was literally not allowed to be there.
Exactly.
But now the conflict between Syria and Saudi Arabia has, been restored.
Yes.
And as a result, Sami Zayn, as well as others of Syrian descent, are allowed to cross into Saudi now.
Yay, Cammy's going to the UK.
That is right. Kevin Owens has only been at the Greatest Royal Rumble, and he hasn't been at any of the others because of support of Sami Zayn.
Right.
Personal choice, not he wasn't allowed to be there.
Exactly.
But in this case, he's there because he's always said, hey, if Sammy's going to be there, I'll be there. And that's a really good friendship.
Yes.
They're defending against the Bloodline, but it ain't the Usos. It's Solo Sikoa and the Universal Champion, Roman Reigns.
Because why not?
Because, in my opinion, this is going to be more challenging than if they face the Usos again.
Exactly.
And honestly, now that I think about it, this match is unpredictable. KO and Sami could win, but as a result, that could mean Solo could get pinned, or Roman will get pinned, or Roman and Solo are gonna win, which will end the title reigns and allow Roman Reigns to be WWE's first ever quadruple champion.
You know what they should have done? Remember when Cody beat Solo on the Go Home show for Mania, and before that, Solo was undefeated? Solo should have remained undefeated until this night.
That's right.
Like you made it more unpredictable. Like two undefeated beasts going in there, and not Brock Lesnar, obviously. Two undefeated people going in there against Cammy.
Yeah, and also the Usos still play a massive role in this because you can tell the Bloodline is, as a sign has been saying, bleeding out.
Yep.
You can see it happening, especially when Roman Reigns, he's like dedicated this match to the greatest tag team in his opinion, the Wild Samoans. KO and Sami, they're like, we're going to dedicate our win to the Usos. They're the greatest tag team.
Yep. You know, Roman's paranoid and he runs into Solo, which is fun.
This match can go either way, and I believe this should be the one main event, the last match of the night.
I personally think the world title scores. That's just me. I'm just too excited about it being back.
I mean, I am too, but this has a lot more importance than the world title situation.
Oh, that's fair.
Because of the storyline, and I will say, my God, this is looking really good because, as you mentioned, Solo, he has only lost once by pinfall by Cody Rhodes, but it was by Cody Rhodes, not KO and Sammy. Yep. Aside from that, Solo has beaten KO and Sammy in individual matches and in that 6-man tag match at Backlash.
Yep.
I mean, technically he beat Matt Riddle in that, but still, Solo's the one who got the win.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, I wanted to mention something from Backlash. You want to know what my favorite part about that match was?
What's that?
When Solo grabbed Jay by accident, about to hit the Samoan spike, but even after knowing he was holding on to Jay, he still considered it.
I don't blame him, honestly.
That's why I'm thinking the Usos are going to play a massive role in this tag match, but are they going to help the Bloodline, or are they going to help Cammy? That's the part we don't know. Who's going to win this match? We don't freaking know. Is it going to be this guy? Is it going to be this team? That team? We don't know. And this is why I love it. This is actually exciting because, once again, Roman Reigns, when he's involved in some sort of massive match, it's kind of unpredictable.
Yeah, that's what I like about wrestling. Sometimes it's unpredictable.
Roman Reigns, by the way, at that moment on Saturday, May 27th, not March, we'll be celebrating 1,000 days as the Universal Champion. Can you believe that, dude? August 30th, 2020. And when that happened, did you think that we'd be still talking about his title reign in 2023?
Nope.
No. I personally thought the furthest we would have talked about it would be 2022.
Exactly.
But, personally, I like everything that's going on about this. I'm excited for the whole thing. And Roman Reigns has been champion for 1,000 days. He's the first person to have been a champion for 1,000 days since Hulk Hogan's first WWF title reign in 1984.
That's wild, dog.
1984. That's literally almost 40 years ago.
Jeez.
And I guarantee, based off the fact that Roman's not defending at Night of Champions, he is at least going to pass Pedro Morales, who is at 1,028, I believe.
Yep.
And even though this ain't the same title, their WWE title records will remain intact. We're just talking a title reign in general.
Yep.
And people were like, Roman Reigns needs to compete more and whatnot. I'm like, he's at least competing when it's more important. And people also want to say that, Brock Lesnar, this is something we forgot to mention. Brock Lesnar, yes, has competed at every single main roster pay-per-view in 2023. And for the first time ever since his return in 2012, competing at 5 in a row.
Yes, everyone loves my beats.
However, the thing is, just because he's done more pay-per-view matches than Roman Reigns, this is Roman's 4th and Brock's 5th. Just because he's done that more does not mean that the matches were better and that he's a better wrestler. Because Roman Reigns, even in one of his matches, outshined the amount of time that Brock Lesnar competed in 4 matches. And
there you go.
Not to mention, Brock's matches were mostly the same old suplexes, F5 crap. Roman's matches with the likes of Kevin Owens at Rumble, Sami Zayn at the Elimination Chamber, and Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania were full of massive story after massive story, emotion after emotion, things we could connect with. And even if we didn't like the way some of the matches ended, that doesn't mean that the whole thing was a waste and it didn't mean anything, because we were so invested in every last moment of it. Could you say the same for Brock Lesnar versus Omos?
I enjoyed Brock Lesnar, Omos, but there you go, that makes sense.
You get my point. We weren't exactly emotionally invested until probably it ended.
Yeah, there you go.
Bottom line, though, just because Roman Reigns doesn't wrestle as often does not mean that he's not deserving of the title he's got, because he's at least making sure that he's around every now and then. And if you want to play that card, I will play the MJF at AEW card. Because hasn't MGF competed in like what, only two matches this year?
I
I don't
think three, four.
3, 4, something like that. Regardless, one of them was a 60-minute Iron Man match. But if you want to go by time, length, well, Roman Reigns has wrestled for over 90 minutes this year.
Oh, there you go.
I'm just saying, if you want to go down the route of that, well, then I got this. So I'm just saying. But then again,
Yeah.
I look at MJF, and already people are also tired of his reign, and it's not selling that much either. But we'll get to MJF in a couple of days when we talk Double or Nothing.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I'll finally ask, Willie, who the hell is going to win this tag team title match?
Cammy's going to win. There's no reason to put titles or any more belts on Roman Reigns.
Care to clarify?
As much as I love Solo, there's no reason to put any more belts on the Tribal Chump.
Do you know how they're going to win, though?
Easily. They're not going to lay their hands on them yet. Not yet. They're going to cost them by accidentally doing something stupid, which will lead to something at Money in the Bank, which will free up the Tribal Chump for SummerSlam.
It's the Tribal Chief. Show some respect.
That is true. No, actually, I don't want to do that now. I've had enough.
But anyways, yes, I actually agree that the Usos will either intentionally or unintentionally cost Roman and Solo the titles. They'll try to go in to try and help them win, but because Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn know them so well, they'll easily see it coming.
Exactly.
And they take advantage of that. They end up costing Roman. But the real deal is, who's going to get pinned, Solo or Roman? Could you imagine if Roman gets pinned on day 1000?
Solo.
I'm just saying, how wild would that be? Do you think the audience would be in shock?
Yeah, pretty much.
Could you imagine actually if Sammy or KO pinned Roman to win the match, and you just see their partner like just standing there with that shocked look on his face?
Like the guy with the gun when Undertaker's streak was lost.
Pretty much, yeah. Honestly, I do believe Solo will be the one to take the pin. But did you also notice a couple weeks ago Roman accidentally bumped into Solo and looked scared to death?
I mean, would you be scared of Lulu's? Everyone loves Lulu's. Show Lulu's some respect. Which also means that, Roman knows that Roman knows he's beatable. Why do you think he rallied behind all these people?
No. I meant when he bumped into Solo and looked afraid.
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. Roman is afraid. He's paranoid. The last time Roman was this paranoid was probably John Cena. Actually, Cody Rhodes really. No, not even Cody Rhodes. He wasn't really afraid of Cody Rhodes. So he was pretty much afraid of John Cena. That was the last time Roman might have been very vulnerable. Yeah, you could squeeze in Cody, but I don't know. The last time Roman was this vulnerable and this afraid, probably John Cena. Because he knows that, his reign is coming to an end very soon. Hopefully. Yeah. Hopefully so. Because you can't bet against Roman Reigns nowadays. So
yeah, I'd like to see Roman take on Solo for the title at one point.
Please, before the title reign ends, please. Yeah. Do that. So
the bloodline must be entirely destroyed before Roman Reigns can lose the title, because otherwise he's invincible. Without the bloodline, he's not invincible.
I'll do a handicap match. I don't mind the Usos and Solo go against Roman Reigns.
I don't think they're going to do that. However, I won't mind seeing a tag match between Roman and Solo versus the Usos, maybe at SummerSlam.
No, Roman can spend his belt at SummerSlam.
I'm just saying, dude. That could be a good idea. He could defend his titles at Money in the Bank if he wants.
He ain't losing the belts at Money in the Bank. That'd be awesome.
Well, it's not about losing the belts. It's about defending them.
That's true, but I want him to lose the titles very soon.
Yeah, I won't lie. I did not think we'd be still here. But it is what it is. Unlike people who complain nonstop, as if the Roman Reigns burned down the house and killed their parents or something, we actually take things as it is what it is.
Yep, go along with the flow.
Bingo. But I believe we both said Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. because of the Usos.
Oh.
And then the beginning of the end has truly begun.
Yeah, we don't know how it's going to end.
So, that concludes our predictions to Night of Champions. Tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, we will be talking NXT Battleground, and the day after that, AEW Double or Nothing. 3 pay-per-views on Memorial Day weekend. How exciting is that?
I mean, if you want to count 4, kind of, but we're not talking about it's, Impact, but we're not talking about that.
Impact Wrestling Under Siege, which, by the way, folks, I will be on my way. If you're listening to this podcast and you're attending, I'm probably on my way to London, Ontario right now, because I'm on my way to the show.
Yep.
So if you're going to the show, you might meet me.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, we will see you guys tomorrow. So, yo, Balor, you know what to do.
Goodbye. Wait, wrong ending. We are the losers, and this is our lounge. We'll see you tomorrow.